p.m. EST. Can you hear me? Hi Kate, morning. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Hi Evelina. Yay, so glad to be here. Fantastic. Hi Lorna. Good to see you all. And please let me know about the music volume, if you can hear it, if it's too loud, if it's too soft. You will be hearing the AC unit go on and off in the background intermediately. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately, because it's hot here in DC. Hot and humid, so humid. How is it where you are? Good. Florgy, yay! How are you doing? How is it over the other side of the Atlantic, I want to say? Hungry, right? I think. Oh, let me just put my earphones away. How are you doing? I hope everybody has had a good week. I hope you are looking forward to the weekend and that you are ready to kind of put a nice little bow on the week that has been and for the weekend that is coming, to ground yourself in this active form of meditation, this creative form of meditation. This is the session for those of us who potentially don't consider ourselves artistic, because these sessions are about the practice and not about the aesthetic. It's just a bonus if you happen to like the outcome. But that is not what we focus on. We're focusing on the process, on the practice, and on the calming effect that doodling has. And it might seem that doodling is simple, or what's the word that I'm looking for? There is a word that I can't think, but it's like fluffy. You know, it might feel a bit fluffy to some, but the reality is that life is convoluted and complicated, and the more we can simplify, the lighter we can feel. So this is just a practice of giving yourself a window of simplification. There's nothing complicated about it. So it gives your whole nervous system a break from the complications of life. So if you were ever hesitant to try doodling because it seems just so superficial or childish, perhaps some people might think that as well, I want to invite you to give it a try and just step aside, let that judgment go to the side and tune into how do you feel while you're doing the process. So as we kick off this session, let's do that internal check. So to start to get into the zone. Unusually, Lorna, you're saying it's unusually hot in Scotland. I'd love to know what is unusually hot, because it's all relative, right? What some person defines as unusually hot is another person's chilly. So I would love to know what constitutes as unusually hot in Scotland. That would be very, very interesting. So as we kind of ground ourselves and get used to our presence in this moment, just take an internal measure of how it is that you are feeling right now. Are you feeling on an emotional scale, on a physical scale, on a mental scale, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being awful and 10 being awesome? Where do you land if you kind of combine all of those aspects? What's the average of that? Hey Jenny, good to see you here. How is it in Cape Town? I'm sure it's probably a bit chilly there. It is, what is today? I still work in Celsius. I haven't fully converted to Fahrenheit, but it is currently 27 degrees here and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. Danny, hi. Okay, so you're feeling out of 10, 6.9 to 7.2. That is remarkably specific. I love that. Very, very specific. I love the level of your attunement into your present moment. Love it, love that. Evelina, you're an 8. Wow, amazing. Hi Trish, good to see you here. Yay, glad to see you. Where are you at in your 1 to 10 scale this morning? Lorna, 26 degrees, okay, which I think is about 80 degrees in Fahrenheit. Okay, 28, that is hot, but that must be so lovely. Is it humid in Scotland? Humidity, I have learned since moving to Washington, DC, humidity makes all the difference, because having grown up in South Africa, I thought I knew heat. I thought I was okay with heat, and then I moved here and got smacked in the face with humidity, and it took heat to a whole new level. So I have decided dry heat I can manage. Humid heat I can't. Yes, Danny, feelings are a spectrum, absolutely. Jessica, hi my friend. I'll be drawing later but wanted to say hi. Am I in New York City? No, not yet. We are driving to New York City tomorrow, so still at home in DC. I have moved to the other side of the lounge, which is why the setting looks a bit different. I decided I needed a change, so yeah, this is where I'm at. So from next week, yes, we'll be in New York City for next week's sessions until almost the end of August. So it will be a different scene. Let's see. Okay, so Trish, you're about a 5. You need this today. Good. Well, I'm glad that you are here. I'm very, very glad that you are here. Danny, you said feelings are a spectrum. Lorna, not humid today. Nice, enjoy that. And you are a 6. I feel like I need my glasses on. And I can see that the sun is going behind the clouds, so it's getting a little bit dark. We'll just have to bear with that, I think. Danny, humidity in Virginia, we are always damp feeling. Yes, this is very surprising to me. I did not expect it, but I suppose it is evidence of, or the greenery, the volume of greenery in the area is evidence of the humidity, and that was one of the things that surprised us most when we flew in. We were flying in over Virginia into Dallas Airport, and we were astounded by forests, miles and miles and miles and miles of forests. I had no idea, and that's, beautiful, beautiful greenery, but humidity is the price you pay for that greenery. Okay. Oh, you're about 4 hours from here. Where in Virginia are you, Danny? We were in West Virginia 2 weeks ago near Berkeley Springs. Sorry, I've got something in my eye, an eyelash. I love that whole area. Florgie, okay, you're a 5. Amazing. Norfolk, okay. Oh, you're down south, okay. That's towards Williamsburg, if I've got my my geography correct. Okay, amazing. Okay, fantastic, nice. Well, welcome. All right, so we're doing our check-in. I'll say if I do my own check-in, and if you haven't yet checked in, let's do some 3 deep breaths. And when you breathe in, when you do your inhalation, we're going to do inhalation on the count of 4 and exhalation on the count of 8. But when you do your inhalation, imagine the air expanding your rib cage from top to bottom, but also from left to right, and then front to back. So it's a 3D breath. You're doing a 3D inhalation as you go. So I'll count us in. We'll do this 3 times, a set of 3 sets of inhalations and exhalations. So taking a nice deep breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, expanding in all 3 dimensions, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale, expanding your rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So if you haven't yet done your check-in, your temperature gauge right now on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being awful, 10 being awesome, where are you in this moment, right here, right now? Right here, right now. Let the week that has been go. Let the week that is ahead go, and be here right now. Where are you in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm an 8, I would say. Jenny, you're a 9. That's awesome. Yay. So we're all on the, so far, of what I've seen, those of you who have shared, we're all on the high vibe side, from the middle to the high vibe side of the spectrum, which is amazing because we all do bring that energy to the session. And and we're all sharing this moment in time. We may not be in the same space, but we are here in this moment. So to crack on with our session, while I shuffle the deck, make sure you've got your doodling paraphernalia with you, whether you are drawing digitally today or analog, how do you say it? Analogogen, you know what I mean. If you're going old school, paper and pen, or journal, or pencil, whatever it is that you're drawing with today, gather all of that. And today we are going to be doing our, let me see, actually, we are doing our, I believe it's the alphabet, right? What is today? The 11th. Am I having a brain freeze? Yeah, I believe we are doing the, are we doing the alphabet? No, we are not. What is the title is on here? Oh, letter K. Okay, thank you. I can't see the title on the app here. So sorry for my little brain freeze there. Okay, yes, thank you. Memory. One of those things, letter K. Okay, today we are doing the letter K alphabet. Fantastic. So if you are new here, we have a 26-part series. We're following the alphabet. We are on the letter K today, and we're going to be doodling the letter K. And the K is a prompt for us to think of things that we are grateful for, things that we are reflecting on, and things that we are intending, setting intentions. With the K as a prompt. Oh, there's our card. You saw that? And it says, ooh, I like this. Self-belief. There's our card, if you can see that. That is a really dark, it's very cloudy today, so hopefully you can see that. Self-belief. I believe in myself 100%. I believe I can do anything I set my mind to, and that I can get through any situation stronger on the other side. Who needed to hear that today? Damn, that one is a goosebumper, that one. I believe in myself 100%. I believe I can do anything I set my mind to, and that I can get through any situation stronger on the other side. Yes, absolutely. Danny, Sesame Street today is brought to you by the letter K. There we go. Letter K. Love that. Okay, so I'm going to put that there as our reminder, and I'm going to switch over the cameras so that we can get to our doodling. And I might need to turn the light on. Let us see. Good, Florgie. I'm glad you needed that. All right. So let's see. Can you see that? I'm going to put that card down there. It is in the distance. I hope that lighting is okay. So I thought I was really on the ball this morning with my whole setup, but apparently I didn't account for the clouds. Okay, so that looks okay. Oh, and then, so what we're going to do, and those of you who are unfamiliar, I do make use of a spinning wheel to help us decide which doodle patterns we're going to do. Now I do have a resource of the various doodle patterns, which is freely available for you. The link is in my profile, or you can follow the links from there. So this is what they look like, and we have them numbered 1 to 50. So as we go into them, why is it not showing? There we go. 1 to 50, these are the different doodle patterns, and we use the wheel to help us decide which patterns we're going to be doodling in our letter K today. So I'm going to put that to the side. This, by the way, I changed my iPad background. This is the West Virginia forest that I was in a couple of weeks ago, and I did a live session from there, and I was just like, I need to take this forest home with me. So this was I can look at it every day and it gives me such a sense of bliss. So beautiful. Okay, so the first step that we need to do, we need to draw the outline of our letter K. And Jessica, yes, you guessed that's what it was. Yes. Yeah, it was amazing, magical. Gosh, I would love to go back there. Okay, so using our, let's just get a good pen. We're going to draw the letter K. We're going to draw it, you've got to draw it fairly large so that you've got space to doodle on the inside. So I'm going to go, oh, and I need my glove. Doesn't need to be perfect in any way. Okay, so you're going to draw your letter K. And then we're going to be doodling on the inside of the K. Going to try and find my glove. I lost it the other day, so I had to make a new one, and then I found it. So now I've got two. And I do this just because the friction on the glass of the iPad sometimes gets to me. Okay, repositioning. All right. So once you've got your letter K, we're then going to refer to our wheel to be able to find out how many different sections we're going to subdivide our K into, and thus how many different doodle patterns we're going to be doing today. Let's see. Kitties, kind-hearted. Oh, I like those K words, Trish. Yes. Love that. I love how the K words are already starting to come up. So if you've got any words that start with K that you feel called to share, please do share them in the comments. And also I invite you to write them and integrate them into your doodle as well if you feel called to. My son's friend is fostering a mama cat, and it had 2 babies, and I want one so much. I'm resisting my cat would not be pleased. Oh, Jessica, I've actually been thinking about your cat, and I really want to draw your cat. So and I have the idea. I was waiting for the idea of what the scene would be, and it landed yesterday, so just so that you know. Danny, kindred, yes, yes, yes. Kindness, yes. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's get our wheel. Now I'm trying something new with the wheel today. It may or may not work. There we go. Let's see how many sections, how many different doodles are we going to do today? 5. Okay, so 5 different sections. So we're going to divide our letter into 5 different sections. Doesn't matter how. Just go intuitively, however you want to subdivide it. It could be random, they could be straight, they can be curvy. Just as long as there's 5 different sections there. Is the K the right way round on your screen? Because I've just realized that it's backwards on mine. I ask this every time. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so once you've got your K subdivided, we're then going to let the wheel decide which are the 5 different doodle patterns that we are going to do, and I'm going to write them all down here. I will then also type them in the comments, unless somebody else wants to do that, and then that means that if you do have the reference sheet to hand, those of you who have done this session before, you should by now have that to hand. You can go at your own pace. You can follow along on the reference sheet at your own pace because you've already got all 5 numbers decided. Those of you who don't yet have the reference sheet, for next time, after this session, you can go and download it, and otherwise you can just follow along as I doodle. But I like this system because it means that we can go at our individual paces. Okay, so let's get our wheel up again and let us see. Hopefully that is showing. Yes, okay. All right, so our first number. So it's out of 50, number 7. Okay. Number 12. Number 10. Number 20. And last one. It's like playing Doodle Bingo. Number 14. Okay. So we've got all of that. Fabulous. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, thank you, Jessica. You can learn more about the reference sheet in my teacher profile. Hey, let me do the thingy. If you want to get that postcard, I'm trying to do these thingies. Jessica, you have 4 drawings of mine to catch up on. You're excited to do some this weekend. Fantastic. Yay, it sounds like it's going to be a lovely creative weekend. That sounds idyllic. Thank you, Trish. So 7, 12, 10, 20 and 14. So those are our numbers, and so you can go at your own pace. If you don't have the reference sheet, you can follow along. So I'm going to start with number 7. The numbers are very small on the sheet, so I will probably need my glasses again. Oh, I love this one. And please as well, if you feel at all called to do any other kind of doodle, please go ahead, because it's not about the aesthetic, it is about the practice. It is about allowing your mind to focus on what your hand is doing, Focus on the sensation of holding your pen. All of this is about bringing your senses into the present moment. Letting go of the noise, the clutter, the distractions, and focusing on the simplicity of this creative practice. So that's what our focus is. I'm going to move this to this side here so that you can still see that, hopefully. Okay, good. And please let me know if you have any questions at all. Jessica, my husband is in Vegas, so I'm going to convince my kiddo to do quiet drawing time together. Oh, that's amazing. What a special, that is such a special activity, honestly. You know what I discovered? And although we do drawing here, we also do a little bit of chit-chatting and sharing. I recently finished editing a very long series of videos of when my parents first came to visit us in the USA, 24, December, January 24. And it's taken me 18 months to edit that series. And there's so many little moments that we shared that were so seemingly inconsequential at the time, like so simple, and it ties it back to the simplicity of this doodle practice. But it was so silly. It wasn't the extravagant, big events that really stood out for me while I was reflecting on that time together, going through all of that footage. It was the silly moments. It was the watching my 72-year-old parents do snow angels and cooking Christmas dinner in funny outfits and going to Gravelly Point here and watching the planes fly overhead. Like all of these simple activities, but it's the memory of that shared experience. So yeah, I digress. Let us return to the moment. So I demonstrate how to get started with these doodles. You can definitely follow your own intuitive inklings if you feel called to. But sometimes you might need a little assistance just to get started. Remembering to breathe. Inviting your mind to slow down. I'm going to put my glasses on again. And notice the sensation of the paper beneath your hand, the pen between your fingers. Notice what your other hand is doing. Is it holding on tight to something? Invite it to let go. Be here now. And start to invite words that start with K. We've had kitties, love that. Kindness, oh gosh. In fact, I want to write them. We were dog sitting for the last week. We had our unofficial fur nephews with us. And one's name is Kaiser. Such a sweetie, so I'll put him. Let's see. Sorry, I missed some. He just wrote a series of 2 to 3 books and illustrated them. Wow. Is that your son that's done that, Jessica? My goodness. Jessica, is this the B6 pencil in Procreate? No, this is the monoline. It's the monoline pencil. It's my preferred brush. Allowing the relaxation, the sense of letting go, the sense of immersion. And also invite a sense of intuition. Once you've seen what the doodle looks like, allow yourself to get kind of take ownership of how you're going to proceed with the doodle. Remember, self-belief. Believe in your ability to do the doodle. Even if you get things wrong. A great approach has repeatedly surfaced for me this week, and that is of the practice of aiming for 85% instead of 100%. Because 100%, when you're doing anything, for me, from my perspective, my experience, so take it with a grain of salt, but when I'm aiming for 100%, it starts to head into toxic perfection territory. And I have found on a day-to-day basis, as I'm going through my day, when I give myself permission to aim for 85%, A, I get more done, and B, there is so much more peace. So much more peace. And yeah, kinship, Heidi, yes, kinship. Love that. Kinship, that's beautiful. I'm feeling stretched to think of words. If I weren't vegan, I'd say Kit Kat. Kiss, Trish, that's a wonderful one. Yes. Karma came to mind. That feels like a reflection point. Okay, it came to mind, so I have to write it. Karma. Another theme that came up a lot this week was replacing doing with being. Replacing doing with being. Who am I being? And that ties back into that karma one. Who am I being? How am I being? Where am I being? Why am I being? When am I being? Those have been some profound journal prompts for me this week. And there was a great meditation track, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up in my recent meditations, but that being is the grounding of doing. That was the message of that meditation. That being makes the doing possible, and we get so confused thinking that doing comes first. And that's why this kind of practice and other creative practices are so profound, because while it might not feel terribly productive from a left brain world perspective, when you start your day with these kinds of practices, it spills over into the others, spills over into the more left brain activities. Heidi, morning. You're sending your love to everyone from southern Maine in Wabanaki territory in the northeast of the indigenous homelands of America, aka Turtle Island. Wow, that's beautiful. Welcome and thank you. Sending love right back at you. Yay. Are there turtles there? I think turtles, or we call them, well, do you make a distinction between turtle and tortoise? Because in my frame of reference, says that tortoises are on the land and turtles are in the water. But I think in America, tortoise and turtle is interchangeable. Let me know. But I think a tortoise is my spirit animal. So, is it tortoises there? On Turtle Island? Because then I must go visit. Okay, so once you've done your shapes, if you are staying at my pace, I then go after the fact and put in the detail. I have been inviting myself, and so then I shall invite you to slow down. There is no need to rush through this. If we don't finish within the allotted time of the live session, that's okay. We can complete it in our own time. Don't rush through it. Allow it to be what it is. Two different species in England, tortoise and turtle, yes. That's how I see it. So just shifting my position here. I guess that's my frame of reference, is the British definition. Feel yourself relaxing into the process, into the repetitive movements, going at your own pace. If distracting thoughts do show up, acknowledge them. Don't try to suppress them. Just acknowledge them and continue bringing your awareness back to the drawing. And
And notice those thoughts drifting into the background as you keep bringing your focus back to the drawing. They are still there, they're just less prominent. Okay, and if you have completed the detail of these leaves, then you can, if you feel called to, start to fill in the gaps. And perhaps you notice that filling in the gaps gives you a sense of calm, or maybe it irritates you. Either way, just notice, just observe it, and carry on filling in. Sometimes silly things can bring our awareness to what we are feeling. Sometimes we're too busy to notice what we're feeling. So a practice like this helps us to just focus a little bit more and just acknowledge. Whatever you're feeling is okay. I was just thinking of kilts. Scotland. Gotta love the kilts. Minday, good to see you. You had to miss most of today, getting ready to leave for a physical therapy appointment. Okay. Well, good luck with the appointment. Yes, it is a beautiful design. Alexis, hi. First time, welcome. You love to doodle. Where are you, Alexis, in the world? Are you doodling along with us this morning? Ken, yes, yes, Ken. Oh gosh, that is such a good one. I feel like I want to write that one down. I'm going to write it here. Oh, cool, cool. Oh, you're in New York, yay! Yes, you can do this later. The replay will be accessible via my teacher profile link on my other channel. Zemvira knitting, yes. I haven't even thought of the KN words. Knitting is something I enjoy. Yes, that's a great one. Knit is quite a good word too, generally. Yes, it is, yeah. Knitting in all its definitions. That was great. Heidi, I'm feeling nice brain tingling. Nice. But I am getting sleepy and I had a lot of reading to accomplish today, so I need to go get to those. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for this. You're so welcome. I'm so glad that you joined. Enjoy your reading. Yes, Mende, it is a letter K. I was zoomed in. Knots? Yes. Love knots. Gotta love the knots. Now, are you talking about knots in ropes or like pizza knots? Or both? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good, Danny. You're hyper-focused and relaxed. Good. That is the intention. I'm so glad. Knots. Knitting. Kneeling. Knees. I am grateful that my knees are healthy, relatively healthy. Yes. Oh, we've opened up a can of worms with these KN words. Love it. Knowledge! Danny, that is insane. Love that. I thought karmic knots, cord knots. Wow, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's deep. I don't know anything about that, so if you have insight and wisdom to share on that front, please do. Wow, that is deep. Thank you. Knickknacks, yes, Trish. Knickknacks. Love that knowledge one. Gotta have that knowledge one here. I'm borrowing from you all. Knowledge. My ancestor invented kindergarten in Germany. Oh my goodness. Wow. There is a lot to be grateful for in terms of kindergarten, both for the parents and the kids, I'm sure. That's a good one. Knapsack. I got a new knapsack from Strand Books in New York City, and I really love it because I can carry, it's big enough to carry my iPad in, so I can draw wherever. Yes, let's put that. Simple things. Is knapsack with an N or a K? Oh, Trish, kaleidoscope. That's amazing. That's such a good one. Hope, kangaroo. Yay for kangaroos. Yes. Kangaroo. Love that. Is a kangaroo anybody's spirit animal? koalas. Apparently the Australians have the K animals. Is knapsack with a K? I'm making it so. Kaleidoscope, I like that. Kiwi, another one. The fruit or the bird? That's so good. Mende, I so wish I could be settling in here with all my friends and doodling. Such a bummer to have to run out the door. Are you only on Fridays? Currently, yes, but I do have the idea, the seed has been planted to do more sessions per week. I have not yet executed on that yet. And I think that the reason that I haven't yet executed is because we are going away for the month. You know, we've been dog sitting, and then we are going up to New York for months. So I imagine, well, I'll put it out to the universe. If the opportunity arises that I can do more than one doodling session a week while we're in New York, then make it happen. Otherwise, once we get back at the end of August, then I will start doing more than one session a week. And I think because I've become more refined in my setup, the tech setup, because I need about 45 minutes or so to set up the cameras and the audio and all the gear. You know, I just need to make sure I'm not overcommitting, because I'm a multi-passionate person, and so there's many other things that I like to be able to tick off in a day, and I'm only just getting back into that rhythm after some travels in the last month or two. Other things that fill my time, my days, are I'm currently doing yoga teacher training, so I've got my studies to do there. I do illustration live sessions on YouTube on a Thursday, but that's not doodling, that's illustrating cats and dogs and just practicing illustration as a whole. And then I also edit travel videos. I put together our travel videos, and then exercise, you know, all the things. So I need to make sure that it's not, that I don't overburden, and just be mindful. But the seed is definitely there to do more than one doodling session per week. I really do want to do it, and I'm thinking of maybe doing an afternoon session. I don't know what that would look like with other time zones, but it was an experiment that I thought might be worth exploring. In fact, there's an entirely different doodling session concept that has been swimming around, and it's related to identifying emotions and doodling our emotions, being able to tap in using these tools to be able to explore what we are feeling and what we would like to feel, and having a means of communicating that, creating that awareness for ourselves without the use of words. So the doodling, it's like stick figure drawing level stuff, just to draw what you're feeling. So again, not needing any artistic talent, merely focusing awareness on what you're feeling as a way of processing what you're feeling, and as a way of taking ownership of what you're feeling. So that has definitely been on the radar. And again, I kind of sit and wait for the breadcrumbs to reveal themselves. So that is cooking at the moment. Kernel, yes, hope. A kernel of hope. Love that. Mende, I was just wondering if I had to wait a week to catch you again. I will try next week. You can catch the replay. There will definitely be a replay of this session. Kathy, on doodling emotions. Okay, yay, thumbs up.
Yeah, it really excites me. I've been delving a lot into awareness of emotions, you know, and expanding my own personal emotional vocabulary, and then expressing the emotional vocabulary, or at least the emotional sensation, the feeling of that. I just know I have a tendency to bottle things, and so drawing, doodling, expressing those emotions is a way of working with it.
Oh, thank you, Danny. I just saw that you subscribed.
Okay, I have finished number 7. That took most of the session, bizarrely. I'm gonna start with number 12. I feel like it is all the way up here. Yep, number 12. I'm starting to know which doodles are by their numbers. So if you get lost at all with how to do number 12, this for me is the easiest way. Just draw some intersecting lines. The more lines you have, the more flowers you will generate. So just be mindful of not having too many or ones that are too small. Okay. And then from there, you can come at it like you're cutting a pizza. Intersecting in the middle. And then round the edges. And then neurographic art, the rounding of these harsh edges is apparently therapeutic in itself. Taking the edge off. Cool. Kneading, yes, as in kneading dough. Knowing, oh yes, gosh, that's a huge one. Knowing. When you know something,
Love that one. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing this. And notice that your whole body by now is probably a lot more relaxed than when you started. And it is not unusual to get a bit sleepy while you're doing this. That happens to me often. Because it's that sense of relaxation. That's when you know that your entire nervous system is fully present and accounted for. It realizes it can let go. It doesn't need to be on high alert. There is nothing urgent right now in this moment. The act of doodling helps inform your reptilian brain that it can relax. That part of your brain that is in charge of your survival is off the clock, at least for the duration of the doodle. It's trying to keep you safe. Keepsakes. Keepsakes. Kindle! Kindle! That's such a good, I love my Kindle. I really thought K would be a challenging letter. And keepsakes. I have been reminded this week of just how important keepsakes are. And for me, it's video keepsakes. So profoundly valuable. My mind is a little bit blown by the depth of what you guys have come up with today. Bye, Monday. Enjoy your lovely doodle practice. See you next time. Yes, kindle a flame. Hope kingdom. Animal kingdom. Gotta love the animal kingdom. Ooh, stretching me old legs. Kitchen. How much joy being in the kitchen, making food with love, experimenting, expressing creativity in the kitchen. Kayaking. Such a good one. Hi, Elizabeth. So glad you popped in here. This is such a lovely calm energy. Good. I'm so glad. You're most welcome. That's what we aim to generate here. Calm energy, calm creative energy. Yes, kayaking. Love that, Danny. So cool. Kayaking. Proper summer activity. Kites. Kites is another one. Something mesmerizing about watching kites. Kids, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Keen. Key. Yes, the key. Finding keys. Having keys. Figuring out the keys. That's such a lovely reflection prompt key. Like creative problem solving. Kudos, yes. Yes, kudos. Giving someone kudos. Or giving yourself kudos. How often do we give ourselves kudos? Kudos. Is that a slang word or is it an actual word? I've never thought about it. Kudos. What can you give yourself kudos for today? I think that's a great question. Okay, New English Oxford says it's a real word. Okay, cool. Kudos. New Oxford American, okay. Yeah, I thought it was a fairly American word. Kudos. That's a good one. I'm going to write that down. As a reflection, to give more kudos. A reminder to squat. Kismet, yes. And kinetic energy. Kismet. What is the definition of kismet? I feel like I have an idea, but I'm probably wrong. Although self-belief. Kismet. Kismet. Fate or destiny, often with a positive connotation. I like that. kind of like fate or serendipity. That is a wonderful word. Thank you, Danny. Are you going through the dictionary or thesaurus? Oh, I spelt it wrong. Undo. That is a lovely one. I want to commit that to mind, commit that to memory. Fate or destiny, often with a positive connotation. Fate or destiny, serendipity. Kismet. Using it in a sentence. It was kismet that we met up this morning. Is that correct use? What device and software am I using? Kathleen, this is an iPad Pro something, and it is Procreate is the application that I'm drawing in. Okay, thank you, Trish. Okay, it is kismet that we are here. This week in my yoga teacher training, I was learning about spine health, and my posture currently, I'm aware, is not very good. And the kyphotic, because of the kyphotic bends in our spine, it has these natural curves. And so the K of kyphotic, which is the outside, is the primary bends in our spine, the ones that we're born with, the concave, the convex curves of our spine. So I am bringing awareness to those aspects of my spine and the lordotic aspects of my spine, which is the concave, as I change position. I'm gonna grab another another pillow. 1 second. There we go. kidneys. Gotta give thanks to our kidneys. Good health is the first wealth. Send love to our kidneys, our knees, kyphotic curves in our spine. Send love to our body. Have we had kinesthetic? I don't think we have. We had kinetic energy, but not kinesthetic. That goes beyond my realm of familiarity. Is that the moving things with your mind? Kinesthetic? You're welcome, Trish. Okay, you have to go to a meeting. Up to a 7 from a 5. Fantastic, I'm so glad. 2 points, woohoo! Take care. Fantastic. We've got about 5 minutes left in this session. It has been a slow one. I'm not mad about it. Oh, kebab. In the UK, we say kebab. Kebab, I think it's the same thing. Kebab, kebab. That's a good one, Elizabeth. Yes, nothing like a good kebab or kebab. I'm assuming they're the same things. My kebab would be vegan though. A falafel kebab. Kettle corn. We're on to the food portion of the K list. I like kettle corn. So I'm going to aim to finish this doodle design before our session ends. And then clearly the invitation is for us to complete the full drawing in our own time. And if you feel like you'd like to share your drawing, there is a link in my teacher profile to the place where you can do that, because the facility does not exist on Insight Timer to do that. Or if you're watching this elsewhere, check beneath the video for that link. Yeah, I would love to see what your letter K looks like. And then, before I forget, I have scheduled the next sessions coming up. I will just put them here. So next week's is the 18th, and that is our creative one. That is our creative doodle session where we kind of go more flowy with it, that there is not related to a letter, it is more abstract objects. Maybe it will just be a square filled with a singular doodle. Yeah, we're a little bit more creative in that side. Elizabeth, You would think so. Jessica, kebabs at the braai. Yes. How do you know about braais, Jessica? Kebabs at the braai. Braai being a South African word for barbecue. Zemvira, kinesthetic learning is learning through a physical activity like doing. Oh, of course. I went down a whole other, like doing the thing as opposed to saying and watching. Yes. Thank you, Zemvira, for educating me. Yes. So we are kinesthetic learning. Yes. Danny, you're so welcome. Okay, cool. You share via the link. Yep, find that in my teacher profile. Elizabeth, karaoke. My gosh, that is a good K word. Karaoke. When last did I do karaoke? It has to be decades, literally. Gosh, karaoke, that's such a good one. When did you all last do karaoke? Jenny, I'm gonna make myself another cup of tea, find some more good music and finish us off while I'm in the zone. Yes, that's a great idea, Jessica. Yes. Oh, okay, you work with a lot of South Africans. Yeah, I think I remember you saying, yes, kebabs on the braai. Jenny, also looks like I'm so relaxed I've lost the ability to spell. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Good, I'm glad you're in the zone. Tina, it's been years since you did karaoke. Maybe we should have a karaoke session on here. I'll also put up the other follow-on postcard. What does it do? Okay, so then that's the 25th. So I've been a little bit more organized in that I have scheduled all of our Friday sessions for July. So you can go and register for those so that you get the notifications when the time comes. And yeah, then make sure that you follow so that if I do land up doing additional drawing sessions on top of the Friday ones throughout July, then you'll get notified. As I said, I do illustration sessions, just hour-long, basically a weekly illustration prompt. I don't know if that is... I would do that session here on Insight Timer, but I don't know if it kind of meets the, remit of Insight Timer. So that's why I do it over on the other platform. But yeah, watch this space with regard to additional doodle sessions and potentially that exploring and expanding our emotions through doodle art. Pretty excited about that. And now that I've spoken about it outside of my own head, there's probably another breadcrumb in the right direction, in the direction of actually executing. Kinesthetic learning. Yes. I'm going to put that down because that is a would fit. Tick. I'll know what it means. Okay, just seeing the time now. Still got 3 blocks to go. Let me just show you, for those of you who don't yet have the reference sheet, I'll just show you what 10, 20, and 14 look like so that you have it as a frame of reference. But I highly encourage you to go and get, 10, that's gonna go nicely. I do also, just so that you know, if it looks a little bit overwhelming and you don't know where to start with the doodle, I do have a video that
lays it out so that you can see how it starts. Florgy, I'm waiting for the explanation to start with the 10 design. Okay, okay. So I'll show you quickly. So this one, we start here and we just make a whole bunch of little, looks like little bug antennae. Here we go. That's how we start. And then we start going round. But as I said, there is a video. All the links in my teacher profile take you there. When you go and get the reference sheet, you'll see that. So that's number 10. That's how you get started there. And then number 20. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there's anything complicated about that one. Okay, and then number 14. Easy peasy. Okay, so it was just number 10 that needed a little bit of explanation, but number 20 and 14 are pretty self-explanatory. This has been an amazing session. I hope that you have found this valuable. Let's do, before we wrap it up, let's do a little check-in. Where are you now on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh gosh, it's dark. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling now? Breathing it in. I'm a 9. I went from an 8 to a 9. Definitely. I'm feeling the vibes. You guys came up with some amazing words of reflection and contemplation and appreciation, and I'm so appreciative of that, honestly. That has shifted things a lot. Florgy, you're 7. Tina, you're an 8. Kathleen, you're an 8. Yay. Evelina, you're still an 8. Great. You're like level. That's amazing. Alrighty. So that concludes our session. I would love, love, love to see your drawings if you feel called to share them. Check out the link in my teacher profile. I want to thank you so much for joining here today. Even if you just popped in and you didn't draw, if you didn't doodle, that's okay. Like, come for the energy and the conversation and carry on with whatever it is you're doing. But thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate this enthusiasm. It really is, I'd say, like, it's one of the highlights of my week. This session is really something I look forward to. So, yay! Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for this. I'm partial to the letter K. Of course you are. Of course you are, Kathleen. I'm grateful for Kathleen and for Kathy. Thank you guys for being here. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So thank you again. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Please continue with your doodle carve out. I hope that you realize the value of this simple exercise. Even if you just do for 10 minutes, just to calm down your entire nervous system. Like, be mindful of your breathing. Breathe in to the full extent of your lungs. Be mindful of your posture. Send love to your joints, to your shoulders, to all the things. And then just observe what's going on in the mind, and then focus your attention onto this practice that it really can soothe your entire body and your mind. So I hope you feel that. Alrighty, lovelies, thank you so, so much. I'm so glad that you joined as well. Yay. Thank you, everybody. I will see you next week or catch you on the replay. All right, have a good one. Bye.